What's up, everybody?
Welcome to the Tug of More.
So glad that you're here joining just a conversation between two friends.
That's right.
About
where we are and where we want to be. There's a fight, a struggle, a tension. That's the Tug of More.
That's right. You know, it's pretty amazing that we are in well over 100 episodes.
Yeah, a lot. I don't know. What did I say? 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah, a long time. You'd think that we'd have got mad at each other and been like, forget this.
Yeah, we're like the Beatles or NSYNC. You know, they break up because one of them gets too cool. But maybe it's just that
we know which one would probably get too cool.
That's not true. But I found this funny thing though that made me laugh.
What is it?
I found our podcast planning notes from the very beginning.
Oh no!
And we had a bunch of title ideas because we didn't know what we were going to call it.
Yeah, Tug of More. We didn't know.
And one of them, like a big long list of titles, was a bunch of iterations of how are we the adults? We are in charge?
We are in charge? Question mark is the name.
Are we really in charge?
This is the name of the podcast?
Yeah, it's so dumb. Then
When Do the Adults Show Up is the best name. That might still be a good one.
When do the adults get here? Yeah. Then we had a bunch about red because like red was our color, seeing red and more. We weren't even more church then, so we were trying to like put more in. And then there's a whole bunch of things about experiments, the experience of the experiment, experienced experiment, the experience.
Because we say that ministry is an experiment.
Yeah,
and it was also our way to launch podcasts, and if it didn't go well,
then we could say, "Oh well, it was just an experiment." But yeah, here we are. But my favorite thing is that it says in here other ideas.
Other ideas, okay.
And this is very cute.
Guessing that it was big vision.
What? We would never have giant dreams. It says, after every podcast, we will have a follow-up 2 days later of us answering all of the questions that are left in the comments.
Hey, I still think that's a fantastic idea.
I do too.
It's just that our people on the Tug team,
they don't ask questions.
They don't hit us.
I mean, we get them every now and then for like different things, and we try to answer those. But not enough to have a follow-up podcast 2 days later. Come on, guys, what's going on?
Come on, hit us with your questions. What do you want to know? We'll answer anything.
And then it says our vibe is that it will be dark red, clean, cozy, nothing too cluttered, and maybe a drop cloth background. Oh, wait.
Oh, well, here's why. It's because when we started, we had a whole argument.
Yes.
Because I wanted to go full Gary V background.
Yeah, you wanted the
shelving with. I mean, if you've seen my office, then you know that I like the eclectic things.
Yeah, but then it says not too much clutter. So
well, I did not write that on the whiteboard. this Whitney or Easton wrote that on the whiteboard.
But anyway, it's funny when you look at what you once had as dreams, as ideas and plans, and then you look forward and go, hey, I had a big dream. I had a goal.
Yeah.
I achieved it, but it doesn't actually look the way I thought it was going to look when I first started.
It's not what I expected.
Isn't that funny how that works? I feel like life is that way most of the time.
When do we want to do another live recording?
Oh, I don't know. Sometime.
We did a live recording.
For the 100th.
For the 100th. And it happened to be like right when we were getting in the building.
Yeah.
So we didn't really get to even promote it very well.
Yeah, we should do it again. Maybe this summer
like
sometime.
150?
Yeah, I don't even know what number we're at. Do you
Me
know?
neither.
This is 126. Okay.
Yeah, 150.
Okay, 150. Let's do it. That'd
150
be fun.
Recording location on Mars.
We've been trying to get a hold of Elon this whole time. And
Elon,
that has not
I've got a number of things that you're going to want to learn about that you can partner with.
We should definitely work together. Well, yeah, I guess that tells us how long we've been doing it. 126. That's like 2.5 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. We're doing good.
Have you seen the picture of Zuckerberg with a beard?
The new picture of him, how he was
how he's got a beard now.
He looks more
frat boy. Like he looks like
now ruggedly.
Yeah, ruggedly handsome.
Yeah,
not so much like an alien.
Yeah, exactly. He had a glow up, is what I saw.
A glow up.
That's what they're calling it. You know, when you grow up, but you glow up.
You know, the beard is a game changer for a lot of guys.
Yeah.
Fat guys.
They love it.
The greatest thing that ever happened was beards being cool.
Yeah.
You know who I think did it was the Duck guys.
Yeah, the Duck Dynasty guys. They still, they had the gross beards, though, the long.
Mega beards.
Mega beards. But yeah, it covers a multitude of sins. Girls don't get that. If we have a beard, it's a whole different problem.
I mean, yeah, but y'all got other stuff to cover all your sins.
Okay, well, I guess that's true.
Oh, God. Closets and bags and
all hair and
bungee cords. Y'all got all kind of stuff helping.
Ridiculous.
Helping
Just
create
not this part.
Create a tricky scenario.
Just not this part. I wish I did. I would like it.
I don't know what happened to the Duck Dynasty guys. Are they still? I mean, they're kind of doing the Jesus circuit now.
Yeah, they're around. Some of their kids got famous. So like Sadie is famous.
She's now like Jesus. She's like a preacher.
Yeah. So there's.
Is she good?
Yeah, she's great.
I haven't heard her.
She's Julie's generation, right?
Okay.
Yeah, they all be liking Sadie. Yeah. Yeah.
Julie's one of our producers.
Yeah.
She's funny.
If we had a camera, I'd turn it on, but I can't.
I wish we need to work on a producer cam.
Yeah,
this
was your button. Gary V dream.
I get the button and I get to just put the camera on.
And then you're like,
them.
"What do you think?" And then they have to answer. I don't know. Yeah, well, we have made a podcast, and it is 2.5 years later. It doesn't look like what we originally planned, but I like it.
I'm having fun.
I'm proud of it. Yeah, I think we.
What's happening in life? Anything?
In my life?
Yeah.
I mean, still my kid is getting married soon. It's like
it's a good thing because if he was not getting married, something very sad had happened.
His 21st birthday was Saturday, and then my 22nd wedding anniversary is this Saturday.
Oh yeah, congratulations, Aaron.
So, yeah. He survived. Can you believe it? And so
Here, put the camera on me, Julia.
It's ridiculous.
Good job, Aaron.
We survived 22 years. That's good.
Y'all going somewhere?
Well, he's going to a conference, and then I am piggybacking up on that.
Yeah, but you stay in an extra day or something.
Yeah. So we can have a little bit of time.
You're going
together.
to Nebraska or something?
No, in Nashville.
Oh yeah, Nashville. I knew it was an N.
It's close, different.
You gonna go listen to some country singers?
Yeah, 100%.
You gonna go listen to that girl that moved there? We had a girl that left our church.
Oh, I forgot about that.
We tried to get her on the worship team. She could sing, but then she would never try out because she always about to leave for Nashville.
Yeah, but then she finally did.
But is she Reba?
I haven't heard about her since she left, so I don't know. That's what happens sometimes.
Should have sang on the worship team.
That's right. I don't know. No, we're going to go. I don't know. I haven't been there. I went there when I was a little kid a long time ago, but apparently it's one of the cool cities to go to now. So we're staying downtown. I think it'll be fun.
I've never been.
You just went to one of the greatest cities in the world.
Hey, listen,
you had fun, though.
Rachel and I, we took the kids to Tulsa.
That's right.
Because they have the greatest park.
It's really the greatest park.
When you say the word park, now I guess we can't call it like a national park. It's not like Yosemite.
It's not like Yellowstone, right?
It's not that. It's like like with playgrounds and stuff.
Yeah.
They had a park that's unbelievable.
Yeah,
there's apparently some like eccentric billionaires in Tulsa that just wanted
oil
to
and gas guys, and they wanted to reinvest in their city.
Yeah, they made mega park.
I mean, it was like $1 billion.
I mean, they have giant 5-story elephants with slides that you can slide down its trunk.
It's the craziest, it's the most insane free thing.
And it wasn't even that busy.
Really? Well, yeah, because you went during your kids are homeschooled, so other kids were probably in school, right?
So it was super fun. We took the kids, got a little Airbnb for 3 nights, hung out. Super fun. Saw some friends while we were there.
Yeah.
And then took them to the park. There's a what's it called? A zip
line.
line. And so Lillian loved the zip line. And so we're standing there in line, and there's not a ton of kids. There's maybe like 8 kids in line to do the zip line.
Yeah.
But these other kids are a part of like a school trip.
Oh, okay.
Well, a kid kind of needs help to get on the zip line.
Yeah.
Well, Rachel's over there looking at her phone. I don't know what she's doing, but I'm over here engaged with my child.
Oh, okay. You're being super dad. Yeah.
I'm helping Lily on and off the zip line, and she's like, "Daddy, I want you to push me hard." So I'm flinging the crap out of her down the zip line. Well, now all these other kids, they need help.
Yeah.
And all these moms are just standing around, and so I'm just picking up all these people's kids, put them on the zip line.
You could have got sued if you dropped one of them.
So I text Rachel. I was like, "You better get your tail over here."
Yeah, help me out.
All these moms. They're looking for a good man.
A good man.
So you better get over here. It was weird. I'm telling you. Listen, if you are a single man and you're looking for a you're looking for a wife,
you should go to a park.
You should go to a park. Be your
advice? Okay.
Now, you might also be a creeper.
Yeah,
and look
you might
like a
get
pedophile.
arrested. Right.
But I'm telling you, if I ever needed a girlfriend,
you're just going to a park.
I'm going to the Oklahoma Gathering Place Park.
That's what it's called.
And I'm putting kids on the zip line.
There you go. Hey, get you.
I'll tell you.
You already have a wife. You don't need to get you.
It's probably an appropriate story.
Oh my God, what's gonna happen?
I don't know if I should tell the story.
What is it? Do I know it?
Tell the story. Probably not. One year for, I think, Rachel's birthday, I said, "What do you want for my birthday?" And she said, "I really need some new underwear."
Okay.
Now, not like, sexy underwear.
Not
like
lingerie.
Functional.
Just like lady underwear.
Functional underwear.
Yeah.
Okay. Relax. And so I said, "Okay, well, I don't know what the junk I'm doing." And so I go to Victoria's Secret.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm going to go above and beyond, And
what?
So I am going to go buy her a gift card.
Oh, okay.
And so I go into Victoria's Secret.
You're not picking out the panties yourself.
And so I feel awkward, so awkward. I walk in there and say, I'd like to buy a gift card. The
thing about Truston is when you feel awkward,
it's obvious.
It's very obvious. You feel awkward.
So they say, well, sir, how much gift card would you like to buy? I said, I don't know, $300. And I'm telling you, the two girls behind the counter, I could have got a girlfriend on either of them. I gave them $300. I bought $300 gift card, and they were shocked.
Yeah,
it was like I pulled up in a Lamborghini.
Yeah. Well, what kind of baller man is buying $300 gift cards to Victoria's Secret?
So I don't know.
Do you know how many underwear she could buy for $300?
No, I looked around. That place is expensive.
Yeah, but the panties are like $5 for $35.
Things I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know about it. It's okay.
But hey, I had some other alternative agendas.
Ridiculous.
It worked.
It worked. Hey, good job.
So guys, if you're single, listen, these are tips with Truston. If you're single,
go to the park and
Victoria's Secret gift cards.
I don't think this is good pastor advice.
It's not.
No.
I'm saying a wife. I'm not saying you're trying to get a side chick.
Oh yeah, a wife that you properly
Man, okay,
date well.
all right. So that's what's going on in Whitney's life. Vacation. She's going over there.
In your life, so you had a vacation. It's good.
We went to the gathering place. We went to Transformation Church.
Yeah.
Shout out Transformation Church.
Yeah, that's good.
And it was a ton of fun.
You went to their prayer night, yeah?
Went to their prayer night.
Super fun.
Saw that. You know what they did for prayer night?
What?
I think that I make starting a prayer night too big in my head. Winnie's going to make us cut this out because everybody's going to be like, we need to start a midweek prayer night.
No.
You know what they did? Nothing. They turned their building on. They didn't even have a worship team.
Oh, really? I wondered about that.
They literally had a dude get on the mic and said, welcome to prayer night. We're so glad that you're here. We need to intercede. Walked off the stage. They just played a CD for 45 minutes.
A CD? You think it was a
CD? They played God, old man. Played a cassette tape. They played a cassette tape.
They played a Spotify playlist.
Then halfway, they flipped the tape over and they put it back on. And then
Julia's like, what does that mean?
Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
And then they had this lady get up. Then they had this blonde lady get up and
my friend Amberly, lady. Okay.
And then she landed the plane.
Oh, that's
and I was
awesome.
like, that was a great.
Yeah. Well, we have a Tuesday night prayer.
Yes.
At our church every week from 5:30 to 7:30. The awesome thing for us, I think, is that our elders lead it.
Yes.
So that, it's not something else on our plate that we have to carry and plan and do, but they do basically the same thing.
Yeah.
But it's not to the level right now that theirs is at.
Yeah.
Like we haven't built it up yet to where.
So if you live in the area and on Tuesday night you want to come pray, building's open.
That's awesome.
Would love for you to come.
Yeah, for sure.
Love you to come pray. That'd be good.
But
so what else?
But don't you think prayer is something that lots of people overthink?
You see what she did there?
Yeah, see what I did there?
I was trying to think what else to say about my Tulsa trip. No. I ate a giant cinnamon roll. I'll tell you that.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Trigger's drugs.
I Googled largest cinnamon roll in Tulsa. It's downtown.
Is it the
we went there when
Big Baby Rolls or something?
Nope. No, we went to another place called Big Biscuits.
Oh, yeah,
no, Big Biscuit.
The Big
singular.
Biscuit place, yeah.
We went there. It was downtown.
Oh, the one we ate at together.
Yeah.
The diner.
Yeah, we went there. They had a giant cinnamon roll.
Oh, good. It's really good. I forgot what that place is called.
We went to Yokozuna.
Yeah, the sushi place.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, you went to like every place that I would normally go to.
Yeah, we had the whole Oklahoma circuit. So hey, if you have not taken a little vacation, maybe you should schedule that. And you know, it wasn't that much money because we didn't really do a whole lot. We literally drove there to go to a park for free.
For free, yeah.
And
they've got a ton of good food there. So Tulsa's actually a good place if you live in DFW to go
And while the kids are little, you need to do that because someday, guess what? They're going to turn 21, get married, move out of your house. They're never going to talk to you again. and so I'm taking full advantage of this window of opportunity.
Do you know what Beth said to me on Sunday? Beth said, "How are you doing that? I don't know how you're surviving the fact that you have a grown-up son. He's not a little boy anymore." And
Did you say my friend just keeps mocking me?
into getting over my grief? No, it's good. He's grown and he's doing a good job. But it's very weird, for sure. So yeah, I'm proud of you that you took your kids while they still love a park.
You know, Whitney, she said to me, she confronted me, and she said, "Hey, Truston,
I confronted you?
You did. You said you've preached a whole lot this year."
Oh, that's true. I did.
She said, and not just like this year, like
just
for the
in this last season. She
said you've preached a lot. You haven't taken
you need to take some
Sunday
time
off. And she said you need to take some time off. And I said, you're right.
It's true.
I got a little bit emotional, and I said, "You're right."
Yeah.
Not emotional mad, emotional thankful. And I was like, I need a mental break. So we had house party, so my brain was able to like kind of slow down, and then I was mentally off last week.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
So it was great. Sometimes the reason I'm pushing you to go is because I have a friend that pushes me to go.
That's true.
Rachel and I are not good vacationers. So we're not
you
good.
didn't used to be, but you're now.
Well, we're still.
better.
It's not our natural. It's not our first thought.
Response, yeah.
And so you and Aaron have helped us a lot at that.
No,
so
it's good.
Go and take a trip. Okay.
Do it.
Back into your better.
But see what I did in my transition? I said,
I ruined your transition, so do it again.
About Transformation Church, you said, I think I make prayer too hard. And I'm like, I think a lot of people make prayer too hard, don't you think?
I think a lot of people make prayer too hard. I think that we hear the word prayer and we think that we have to pray like Pastor Tim does.
Yeah.
You know, when Tim prays, he's got like
analogies
and Bible verses and jokes.
Yeah.
And like big words.
Yeah, every time he prays, I'm like, will you pray for me now?
It ends with like crescendo.
Yeah.
You know,
power
or
and
we
authority.
think that we've got to pray like Elaine Stone. Elaine's one of our elders, and you know, Elaine will be praying for you and she'll be prophesying.
She's what you call.
How do you even know that?
Yeah, she's what you call a prayer warrior.
Yeah, prayer warrior. You just feel the angels start to move and all the things.
Yeah.
And so we get overwhelmed because we think that we have to
pray like that.
But you know what prayer is?
What?
It's just a conversation between two friends.
That's right.
Talking about where you are and where you want to be.
It's true.
That's all it is.
No, really, it's true. I think that so often in my life, like you said, I would be like, okay, take this moment, take this time, put on a Spotify playlist. Okay, God, now I'm going to pray. And then because I made it so trumped up in my own prayer time. No, don't say that.
Making it trumped up.
Then I would feel like I have to write a very good prophetic word in my journal by the end of this. Or God must speak to me in a way that when I leave this room, I now have clarity. I now feel... And then finally I had to just learn, I just need to tell God what I'm thinking. He already knows, but there's something about me voicing it out of my own mouth to a God that I know actually cares about me. That, one, helps me. I've heard the quote before, like, prayer either changes things or changes me.
Yeah.
And that's the truest thing. That, like,
it's great.
Prayer can shift. I believe in the power of prayer, that it can shift and change things, but also it changes and shifts my own heart and gets me in the right alignment of what maybe my prayer is jacked. Maybe I don't need to be praying that. But if I will start praying, then I will realize, oh yeah, me and God, we're just having a conversation. And when I finally let myself get to that place, it made it a lot easier.
But have you prayed about it?
It's a really good question.
You're stressed.
Right.
You're mad. You're overwhelmed. You're losing sleep.
Yep.
But have you prayed about it?
Yeah, it's so good.
But not just like 30-second complained. Have you interceded about it? So this is one of those kind of big churchy words.
Yeah.
Intercession is a type of prayer that's kind of a little bit. Someone's singing out in the lobby.
Yeah, it's Mick and Phil.
I know who it is.
They're figuring something out. Keep going.
They can't hear it. Listen, we did this podcast through bathroom renovations. They were jackhammering behind that wall.
They couldn't even hear that?
Nothing could stop us.
No, that's right. Well, nothing can stop us. We're all the way up. Okay, go.
So intercession is when we have a prayer focus and we really petition. We ask God. We're really driving the point home in our minds and with him and asking him for something.
Yeah, the definition just says the act of intervening on behalf of another. And because then this says the action of saying a prayer on behalf of, this is what it means. And so like a prayer of intercession is saying literally that is just a prayer either on behalf of a situation, a circumstance, a person, whatever, saying, hey God, and actually taking the time to like believe with authority for the thing, actually taking the time to pray it out and to say, I'm going to intercede about this specific situation. I'm going to talk to you about it. Because I think there's a difference between like, hey, God, here's what's happening in my day. Here's where I'm at. Where this is more what you just said. Hey, this is the thing I've been carrying, and I am choosing now that I'm not going to carry it anymore, God. I'm going to give it to you.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you to take it.
Yeah.
And you to do what only you can do.
Yeah, and you can give God all the details. It's not just like, God, My marriage needs help. Amen.
Right.
That is prayer. That's popcorn prayer. That's popped it out. There it is. But intercession, a petition unto the Lord, is really talking through like the scenarios. Okay, God, this is happening in my marriage. She said this. I said this. We keep getting into this thing. I don't know why it's going like this. I wish it wasn't like this. I wish it was more like this.
Right.
Help me with my temper. Help her with her patience. Help me. Like sometimes we think that our prayers have to be structured like a speech.
Right.
It's not speech class, y'all. It's God. He's not.
Really good.
Listen, if God was going to judge you, he'd have already done it. He'd judge you about a lot of other stuff other than your stumbly prayers without good flow patterns.
It's super good. You know, I was thinking about you and I, we believe strongly in counseling. Like strongly. I believe in it. I believe in the power of counseling, that it's helpful. But half of the good part of counseling is just getting my words and thoughts fully out on the table. It's
true.
And when
I'm shutting off all the other inputs.
All the other things that are happening in my life, and just telling a third party who doesn't really have a whole lot of skin in the game, my thoughts and my feelings. However, prayer still is going to have that same helpful benefit, but is going to a person who's not a third party, who is someone that actually designed us, created us, cares about us, loves us.
And has the power to change what we're going
through. Exactly. And so, man, I still believe in going to counseling. That's not what I'm saying. But maybe you've been going to counseling, it's still not working. Have you prayed about it? Yeah. Have you actually, you've told it all to a counselor or a friend or whatever, but have you told it to God and actually given it to him in a way? I love what you're saying. That doesn't have to be a speech, doesn't have to be so many dear Heavenly Fathers, like, God, I beseech you. No, you're just saying, hey, God, for real, I need your help. Like, for real, here's where I need you to come in and intervene. And it's amazing when you take the intentional time to pray, what will happen, what God can do.
But it's easy to not do it.
For sure.
It's easy to get too busy and too focused on what we can do, on what we can accomplish. Then we go for a month and we don't even...
No, I literally
really
today,
talk to God.
I told Enrique something. There's an issue that we've been walking through, and I told him, I said, well, at this point, I'm just praying about it. And he was like, yeah, that's what you should do. And I was like, right. I mean, there's literally nothing else I can do. So now I'm going to pray about it. And then I'm like laughing at myself, like, wait, I already tried everything I could do. Yeah. So now I'm going to pray about it?
Right. What's the saying? Prayer shouldn't be your last resort. It should be your
first response.
Your first response.
Yeah. And
but we're pastors.
Right.
And been it for a long time, but yet sometimes
that is not my first response.
It's until we're backed into a corner that we start to pray. Which is kind of funny, because if I'm God and my children don't talk to me, maybe I'll just let them get into a pickle.
Right. Well, you just said
so they'll come to knocking.
Right. You just said that.
If everything in my life was perfect, why would I need to talk to God?
Right. You said that about my son, that like he's getting married, he's going to move out, and he's never going to talk to you again. Yeah. And I'm like, oh yeah? Well, if he never talks to me again, then I ain't going to buy him dinner ever again. Like, in the same way as a mom, I feel like you better talk to me.
Yeah.
How in the world do I think God feels when I'm down here running around in circles, literally running around in circles? The other day, you had your car at a car place. I don't know words.
I was getting my headliner and my Ranger replaced.
There it is.
Big baller.
Yeah, you were getting your headliner replaced. And you said to me, I'm going to go pick up my car. I got to go get it. I guess I'm going to go get an Uber and pick it up. And I'm like, bro.
Oh, yeah.
I've been your friend for 15 years. I'm not going to let you take an Uber, pay $55 or whatever.
Yeah.
It was kind of far away to go pick up your car and all this. That's ridiculous. And yet the God of the universe, right, is sitting up there. And I'm like,
I've got a free ride.
Right.
Whether I'm trusted, it's a nice SUV, it has air conditioning, but I'm about to get in the back seat.
I'm mostly a good driver sometimes.
Whitney be putting on her makeup, eating a sandwich on her cell phone while driving 95.
And I get there on time.
That's because the Lord's hand is upon you.
Because I pray. I'm just kidding. But yeah.
I didn't ask you.
Yeah. But yet you're going to pay money to go do this thing. And I feel like with God, it's like the God of the universe is there, like ready and available to us, and yet we're running around doing all these other things, getting all these Ubers for all these situations, and he's like, I'm a free ride right here, available to you. Hello.
It's so easy to just not pray.
It's so easy.
to just let your day get filled up. Did you brush your teeth this morning?
Absolutely.
Me too. Did you ever forget to brush your teeth?
No.
I don't think that a day of my life has.
No.
I'll be on a missions trip in the bush of Africa.
Right.
I got my toothbrush with me.
It is like the first thing I do when I get up. It's like very important to my existence of my day.
I would not be here. I would not leave my house if I couldn't brush my teeth.
Right.
Today, I woke up, ran out of deodorant.
Yeah.
Had no deodorant. I'm clicking it. It's gone. I'm looking through the cupboard. I've got none left. So you know what I did? I wore Rachel's. So right now I am.
That is the benefit of being married.
Let me tell you something. Strong enough for a man, but pH balanced for a woman. So I'm trying to keep it easy today, because if I get too hot, I might not
He might not
pH.
make it.
So you know what I did over lunch? I went and bought deodorant.
That's what you got to do.
On my lunch break today, it's a priority to me that I don't stank tomorrow, so I had to go and buy some deodorant. What if we could treat prayer with the same priority of our normal hygiene?
That is the most ridiculously profound,
Think about what a big deal brushing our teeth is. But yet we'll go for a week
and be like,
losing sleep, my neck muscle all tense, I'm eating my feelings, and I don't even...
Hey God,
I don't even take 15 minutes to turn off the freaking television and throw my cell phone in the trash can. I almost wanted to really throw it. Throw it away so that I'll just get undistracted and talk to God.
Yeah.
Y'all know you do it too. Y'all know you watching this podcast right now. You should shut us off. Don't do it yet. You should shut us off, but maybe do it and go talk to God.
Yeah. We did that series a while ago. We called it You Got to Pray Just to Make It Today.
Yeah. MC Hammer.
Yeah. And it's really true. If you want to make it through the day, we really should start it with prayer. I think that's why, you and I have talked about this before, Aaron and Rachel both are very consistent with the first thing they do in their morning is pray, spend time with God, read the Bible, whatever it is. And they do it, I think, intentionally for the fact that they know if I don't the rest of the day,
I'm not gonna.
I won't. And yet me, I'm like, this is my job. I'll get to it at some point in my day. And then, nope. It is I instead brush my teeth. That is the most important thing to me. And so, it is. We really should realize that if we want to make it through the day the right way, the best way, the most efficient way, with the most wisdom in our day, with the most problem-solving skills, if we want to pray to make it today, or if we want to make it today, we just got to pray. But we just don't do it. I don't know why.
So, why are we talking about this?
Yeah.
We're talking about this because we've been a little convicted.
Absolutely.
Challenged that we're walking into something new and we need to pray about it, right? We've already declared that we're in a new era as a church and it feels like it. But there's some challenges in front of us that we're trying to navigate and figure out. We've got our land for sale. We've got 36 acres that we've got on the market. We've got this new, big, beautiful building that, guess what, isn't cheap.
Right.
And so we're trying to navigate these two big payments and trying to figure out all this stuff and saying, God, what are you going to do? And so I've been praying. I have been praying about
Absolutely.
it.
That's what I was going to say.
Not with intentional focus, kind of randomly casting my cares on the Lord, but not with a focused time. And so the Bible's real clear.
Yeah.
All cover to cover, that when you're in a trepidatious season, that we should really lean into our prayer time. I mean, all through the Bible, people are fasting and praying.
Right.
And so we're about to do a fast and prayer time with our staff, our elders and directors, a few key leaders.
Yeah.
And we're not going to do a Sunday church-wide thing.
No,
it's not, and it's not like dire straits. It just feels like we need some breakthrough. We need some clarity on God. What are we doing?
And some
what's
unity
next?
In our prayer, unity and coming together and saying, the Bible tells us where 2 or 3 are gathered, he's in our midst.
Yeah.
Well, when 2 or 3 are intentional with their prayer, he's in the midst of those prayers.
Yeah.
And so we're not necessarily going to come together every single day in the same space.
No.
But in our intentionality and in our hearts, we're going to come together.
Yeah.
And be really specific each day about what we're going to pray about and the area we're going to pray over. And I believe that he's going to be in the midst of that.
Yeah.
And so when that happens, he's going to solve something.
Yeah.
He's going to reveal something to us.
Yeah.
And even if he doesn't, he's going to move us.
He's going to
shift our hearts and our minds to understand whatever it is he wants to teach us.
Yeah.
And so even if what we think needs to change doesn't change, he's going to change something.
Well, if what we want to change doesn't change, something else will.
Correct.
That will still answer the dilemma that we feel.
Correct. Absolutely.
We've been saying around here, we've been singing the Timberlake song, it's going to be May.
It's gonna be May.
It's going to be May. Now, he says it's going to be me. I think that song is actually about he's trying to like get a girlfriend, right?
I don't know.
He's trying to holler at this girl.
Think maybe. I don't know.
And she's like not paying attention to him. And he keeps saying, hey, girl, it's going to be me.
Oh, yeah.
But
I think you're
we've
right.
been saying it's going to be May a bunch because May's coming up. May will be the 8th year that we've been pastors and leadership of the church. And 8 simply means
new beginnings,
season of new beginnings,
regeneration.
Yeah.
It's a very biblical number for, when things start fresh and new.
And so it feels like that's the right way to start May. And so we're going to do through May, 31 days of
I had
prayer,
to do my
fasting.
little knuckle thing.
I don't know how that works. I don't even know what
January,
you did.
February, March, April, May. So if it's like a knuckle, then it's 30 for 31. If it's down in like the valley of your knuckle, it's 30.
What if it's February?
It's 28. You just better know it.
Oh, okay. All right.
And that's all. Because July and August.
Oh, you have to go across knuckles?
Yeah, because then January, February, March, April, May, June, July is 31, and August is 31. So if you don't do it like this, you screw up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I taught Titus how to do times tables with nines. Do you know this one?
Yeah.
He thought I was a genius.
Because you are. I mean, it makes it look like, that's so,
Yeah.
it's so.
Y'all don't know that? What's 9 times 8? We put down your 8th finger, 72.
It's really,
Okay,
Okay, go.
so we're going to take some time to
we
pray.
just blew Julia's mind. She didn't know.
You didn't know that, Julia?
Watch.
You made it all the way.
Times 1, 9. Times 2, 18. See? Times 3, 27. See? Isn't that crazy?
Julia!
She had a song.
Oh, you have a 9 times 9 song? Oh, all
That's
right.
pretty cool. Okay.
Julia's just smart and doesn't
she's
need
like,
these.
I don't need
these dumb
these
games
finger tricks
of
that
you
you guys,
common-brained
you guys
people.
have.
Okay, so we're gonna do a focus.
Yeah.
And man, I believe God's gonna move.
Yeah.
So if we as pastors who hear from God and know the Bible and all the things need to take some focused time to pray, maybe you do too. Mm-hmm. Maybe you should pray about your kids.
Yeah.
Maybe you should pray about your marriage, pray about your business, pray about your health. You know, all this like health stuff that we've been talking about. Man, I spent time with God saying, God, I need your help.
Right.
I want a chocolate milkshake so bad.
Right.
Help me, Lord. Help me to not crave this. Help me to navigate this temptation. We have to cast those things to the Lord, and He's going to help us.
One of the things we're going to do that I feel excited about is like we're going to journal together.
Yeah,
and so like
talk about it. Tell them what we're doing.
I just read our journal of 2.5 years ago planning this podcast.
Yeah.
And what's fun to do is to look back and go, oh, that's what we thought. Look what happened now. And what we're going to do in this time is take time intentionally with each day, specific prayer focuses, and then journal about it together. And what I love is that in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, we can look back and see what we wrote down, what God was speaking to us, whatever it was, whether it is just writing. I think it's such a great tool for anybody who's going, how do I pray? How do I really get consistent with it? How do I not fall asleep while I'm praying? How do I stay focused? For me, writing it, whether it's actually writing down the prayer or whether it's writing down what God is speaking or whether it's writing down
bullet points
a bullet point of the list of what it is. A lot of seasons, when I'm praying specifically for our staff team, like I will just write their name and then a specific thing. And then I will use that as like, pray this over them each day, each week, each whatever you're praying about. You can be really intentional to write it down, make your petition before the Lord plain. And it's cool to look back and see later how He answers things, how maybe I was hoping He would and how He did it different than I thought He would, but look at how it really went. And then to see, I love to see the maturity of our prayers over time, even in specific things. Like I imagine the first time you prayed about the chocolate milkshake and like wanting to like get a hold of your health, it looked different than it did 6 months later when you were writing out prayers about your health.
For sure.
And it's interesting to see the maturity of what God even teaches us in some of the things that we carry for a long season that we're praying over, or the maturity of you as a believer as you go from beginning your prayers and then growing into learning how to continue to pray and what it looks like. In the beginning, maybe it's super simple. Maybe later it's still simple, but it's more, I don't know, more deep, more specific. It's cool to watch yourself in your journaling and see what God teaches you, what you write down, what you never know. I don't know. I love it. It's a good tool.
We did the series Get Off the Throne.
Uh-huh.
And throughout the whole series, I kept pulling out that little chair.
Yeah.
And really the best way to position yourself in that little chair is to pray and fast and journal.
Yeah.
Because it really is it's a position of submission.
Yeah.
Like, journaling sounds very feminine. I think, at least in my, like, growing up in the 90s, man brain,
well,
it feels
very
kind of effeminate.
12-year-old girl.
Yes.
In my diary.
It feels very diary. But, like, what a better way to submit myself under someone much more powerful than I am.
Yeah.
In all of our male masculinity, in comparison to the power of God, we're 12-year-old girls.
That's
like,
true.
I am very weak. I'm very small. I'm not very smart. I don't have much to bring to the table. And in his presence, I'm allowed to have a diary.
Yeah. No, it's really
You know
good.
what I mean? I should be able to write out what I'm thinking and feeling and processing. Something a pastor I heard preach years ago, he talked about what he did in his journal. And I've done this 100 times. On the left side of the paper, he'd write out what he's scared of, freaked out about, nervous, stressed out
right.
because of. And then and then draw a line under each one. And then on the other page of the journal would write what the Bible has to say about that thing, the promises of the Lord, what God was saying to him in that moment about the timeline. And it was literally, he would close it and it was like, the truth is combating the lie.
Yeah.
And it helps. It's
Absolutely.
really it's a powerful tool. But I think that we just don't pray.
Yeah.
We don't. And I think that it's a disservice to ourselves. I'm a content guy. I like content. And so sometimes I'll be in a stressful thing or something I don't know what the answer is, and I'm just listening to sermons. I'm listening to podcasts. I'm consuming new content. I'm listening to Bible stories.
Yeah.
I'm reading Bible verses about this idea. But that's just more content in, but I'm not releasing anything. The Bible, it says that there's life and death in the power of our tongue. It says that what is loosed on earth will be released in heaven. Talk about that.
No, what we speak out loud, like when we speak, the Bible tells us that God literally turns his ear and hears us. And if we are praying for things that need to shift on earth, when we pray in heaven, angels, like he sends angels to take care of us, protect us.
Yeah.
He moves things on our behalf. And I think that is it's such an important thing for people to understand, that it's not just that there's life and death in the power of you, pastor's tongue.
No.
But there's life and death in the power of all of our tongues.
The believer.
The
submitted person in the little chair.
Right. The same power that raised Christ from the dead lives within each of us. If we've asked Jesus to be Lord of our life, right? And I think that, on Sundays we do a prayer moment a lot of times with a prayer partner. And we say that we're partnering our faith together. It's not the power of these prayer partners that makes the prayer so powerful, but it's the power of coming together and agreeing. And I think people understanding that you, whoever you are, what you said, in your own submission to God, have as much power with your words, that God is turning his ear to you. He's not just turning his ear to a pastor or to some spiritual leader, but no matter who you are. And I think that sometimes we don't believe in the power of our own prayers enough, and it's why we don't pray them, because we think, well, if I can get to church on Sunday and I can pray. On Sunday went to Elaine and said, hey, I'm speaking today.
Because you were preaching Sunday,
I felt this attack over a certain area of what I'm preaching about, that I'm getting insecure, but I know God told me to say it. Will you pray? I've been praying this morning, but will you pray over me? Because her prayers are powerful. Now, I know that my prayer had the same amount of power, but coming together, uniting our faith. But there's a real thing in me that still believes that. And so I know if I still believe, hey, I need Elaine's prayer over my own. There's tons of people that sometimes I believe think is my prayer really worth it? If I can just get there on Sunday and someone can pray with me or over me, then maybe then God can answer. But that's not true. God hears all of our prayers, and all of our prayers are powerful, and all of our words have life and death in our tongue.
So many thoughts. Why do you think? I think people don't pray because, one, they think that their like prayers aren't going to sound good enough.
Right.
But I think that there's a shame factor that
100%.
we have to learn to get over, that we think we're not allowed to pray because we're still dirty.
Right.
We think that, like, I'm not holy enough to knock on God's door and borrow a cup of sugar. Like, me and him are not good enough. But listen, we're not.
No, right.
That's the whole reason that Jesus had to come.
Right.
Is to cover us and to place his righteousness on us.
Yeah.
We're filthy.
Right.
I am not good enough to preach. I'm not. I am not good enough to hold a Bible in my hand and teach from. I'm not good enough.
Right.
But because of the redemptive work of Christ on the cross, I am purified in God's sight,
right,
and I'm able to be used by him.
Right.
And the same thing's true for you. You're not good enough.
Right.
But through Jesus, you are good enough.
But if we could just see ourselves the way God now sees us,
right,
it would blow our minds. I say that verse all the time. While we were still sinners, Christ died for us. When I really allow that to like hit me, I realize while I was like, didn't care, was a mess. Like, obviously I know it was before the time that I was born, whatever. But the point of the matter is, in humanity, while humanity was literally rejecting, it's the story of the whole Bible.
Right.
Is God's people rejecting him over and over and over again. And while they were rejecting him, God said, I'm sending my son, and Jesus came and died for us. And so if we could just see ourselves the way God sees us, it would change everything. And we would probably finally believe that our prayers have the power to loose the things in heaven that we're trying to loose on earth. We might actually believe it. But I think you're 100% right. There's a shame factor. There's an insecurity factor. There's a my words aren't smart enough and powerful enough factor. And then I think there's just a very real discipline.
Just the discipline.
Do it factor, you know?
Just view prayer as a hygiene practice.
It's really good.
I take vitamins every morning.
Yeah.
I used to not. But in the last 18 months, maybe 2 years, I've made it a habit in my life. If I leave my house and forget to have taken my vitamins, I turn around. It'll make me late for a meeting. But I've decided this is a priority.
Yeah.
I would rather be late to a meeting than skip taking my vitamins, because I've had to tell myself,
it's really good.
This is my priority.
Yep.
And if it's my priority, it's top. And I think that if we could help make prayer higher on the priority list, then we would actually talk to God.
Right.
We always joke about Elon Musk.
Right.
You know, if you were given a 15-minute window to sit down and talk with Elon. Elon's a billionaire, the richest man in the world. Influence. If you're given 15 minutes to sit down with Elon, and anything you asked him in those 15 minutes, he would give you, how seriously would you take that preparation for that meeting?
Right.
For those 15 minutes? How seriously would you take it?
I would literally be like, hey, I won't be here next week.
I would take an entire 40-hour work week.
Right. I would be like, I've got to, except I've got to meet with you on Thursday to go over my list and see if you think it's good enough.
I would deeply invest this time to
and
talk
energy. Yep.
to a man.
It's really, really good. Right. A finite
guy.
Unique man. Right.
But yet the creator of the universe is hungry for our affection. He wants us to talk to him. Not just one 15-minute window.
Right.
Anytime. But we can't see God.
Right.
We can see Elon, and we can quantify Tesla and Twitter and SpaceX, and we can
Look up the stock
quantify
on the internet.
the value
Right.
of those things,
Right.
and we can see that maybe he'll give me a Cybertruck, which I would immediately sell and buy a diesel. We can quantify these things, so I'm going to pray to him very specifically. But this big invisible ball of love up in the sky, like,
Right.
we devalue. If there was a way that we could make God as tangible as a billionaire,
Right.
I think we would pray a lot better.
Right. No, you're right.
Even if I could have 15 minutes with Elon and no promise to give me anything. If he had 100 people coming and they were given a pitch and he was going to pick one of them, forget Elon. You put me in front of Mr. Beast. You know, Mr. Beast,
Yeah.
we're on YouTube. What's up, Mr. Beast?
Yeah.
If you gave me 5 minutes to, and Mr. Beast had 1,000 people pitching, I would take that 5 minutes serious.
You just made me think of something, though. It's a so bad rabbit trail.
What?
But I think maybe that's why some religions get people to pray more than others. I think that's why maybe the Catholics pray more. Like, maybe we should cut all this from my conversation. But when you're saying that, I'm like, yeah, because they go to a guy and they believe that this guy that they can actually sit next to and they can confess their things to, they're going to take it somewhere. Maybe that's why. It's just
They
maybe,
think that the guy, the priest, is gonna like deliver his little
message and
his
get it,
little picnic basket of
and
prayers
then
up
their
to
candle
heavens.
that they light and their
Rosary beads
yes,
that they
it's a tangible. It's what you're saying. I'm like, maybe that's a thing that we just never realized of these. Like we've been talking about.
Well, it's a thing, but it's not.
No, right.
It's
not correct.
It's a misfocused.
No,
you should not pray to Mary.
It's not correct. But
Mary is dead.
Correct.
Mary was a girl who had a baby
Right.
and died.
Had a baby, it's a boy.
Had a baby, it's a boy. She's up in heaven chilling.
Yeah.
So is my grandma.
Right.
Like.
No, but I'm thinking what you're saying is like these tangible but finite things.
Mm-hmm.
We give all this energy, not we, but people give all this energy to. But you're right. It's because it's hard to
encapsulate who you're talking to.
But then when I put that into the right perspective, do I really want to give my life to something that I can put and quantify in a box and like actually no, I'm so glad that I serve a God that I cannot
that's
wrap
bigger
my
than Elon.
Yeah, that
that's
I cannot wrap
than
my mind
Gary
around.
V or Mr. Beast or
whoever
you think is influential.
super cool. Yeah, but it's the humanness of people. Yeah, that we want some tangible, touchable, source rather than no. He's available to us every day at every moment. I don't got to drive somewhere specific. I don't got to schedule a time with somebody that has time for me. I don't got to go knock on a door or pay a fee. I don't got to light a candle. I don't got to do nothing. I just got to get my own self to take the time to do it.
Wow. And our prayers are powerful. I preached a story, I don't remember when. I told the story of Daniel and how he was caught in a battle and he prayed for 21 days. And I talked about, I don't want to get into the whole thing, but about how from the minute he prayed, the answer was released. But then the answer was trapped in this unseen heavenly battle between good and evil, between angels and demons. And so as Daniel's praying, reinforcements from heaven are being sent to bring him the answer. And he received the answer on the 21st day. But if he would have quit praying on day 20, he might not have received the answer.
Right.
And so that's what intercession is like this pushing through, this believing. He was praying and fasting. So he was denying himself something in the physical to receive something in the spiritual. And I think that meeting with Elon is also easy. Because like you have it on the calendar and there's this one time and you're seeing a person and then
I
you're
know
done.
ahead of time and I can prepare
But like
for it. And
praying is just a like throwing this thing into the ocean, like like I don't know when or if it's going to happen or
how
am
or
I getting
what.
a call back? I
Right.
don't know. And so the ambiguity of it, I think, makes it hard.
Yeah, for sure.
But we have to realize that heaven moves.
But yet,
that when we pray, what is loosed on earth, what we release, loosed.
Out your mouth.
If something is tied up, you untie it, you loose it.
Yeah.
What is loosed on earth is then released in heaven. The reason that Jesus was not born until he was is because God had to wait for prophets to release prophecy about who Jesus was going to be before he could send him. Mm-hmm. God was just simply waiting on men and women to have faith to prophesy what would become.
Yeah.
And maybe God is just waiting on us to prophesy what's about to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
To speak into existence.
Right.
Speak to what isn't as though it is, and then it will become.
Right.
But we get nervous and we don't do it, and we don't brush our teeth, and we just cry and complain and think we have to figure it out. But guess what? We're not God. We're actually dumb, dirty dummies who need saving.
Yeah.
And all he wants to be is our savior.
Right.
But we keep turning to the golden calf.
It's really true. No, it's in our own.
We're real churchy. Oh yeah, we're Jesus people around here. We usually we talk a lot of leadership, but we're leaning into more spiritual things.
Yeah, because we should. Why not?
Yeah.
But no, it's so true. And I'm like, as you're saying it, I'm like, yeah, we believe in our own selves, our own work, or somebody else that they can solve it. But I think the fear of that, of what you're saying, is being wrong. Is the like, oh, I've spoken things before and it didn't come out. I remember when you were trying to buy a house, you went and like put stakes in the yards of houses that didn't end up being the house that you got. But the truth is, the faith you had that God was going to provide the house you needed is what released the house that he had for you.
Right.
And so you weren't wrong.
I prayed for an answer here, but God answered over here.
Right.
But it was better than what I was asking for here.
And so I think that's the piece, is that, we prayed for a building for a long time in Mansfield, off the highway, blah, 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 all these things. And God had a building instead for us in Arlington off a bigger highway. Yeah. But we didn't understand, we didn't know what he was going to do. We couldn't quantify it, figure it out. We couldn't solve it ourselves, all the things. But it didn't make our prayers wrong. It made our prayers powerful. And the fact was, in the right time, in the right moment, he released what he had for us. And so I think that, to me, I think some of the humanness of, well, if I speak it, what if I'm wrong? Or if I pray for it, what if it's not God's will? But he's going to
sort it out.
He's going to sort it out. And
he's going to sort it out.
Go what?
You ever see one of those?
You're like, you're thinking something.
I'm thinking a bunch of stuff. You know those old movies where people would call in on an old phone to a switchboard operator, and the lady would actually have to unplug a wire and plug it in. God knows where to plug it in.
Right. It's really
There's
good.
this scene in Men in Black, with Will Smith. Yeah. Welcome to Earth, right?
Right.
Where they all work for the mail department, and they're all putting the mail in the mailbox, and down in the mailbox is this alien with like 8 arms.
Yeah.
And he's sorting mail like crazy fast and putting it in the right places. God knows where to put your letter.
It's
He knows.
true.
He knows what slot to put your letter in, but you got to send it.
Yeah.
If you don't make the call, if you don't send the letter,
what can he do? Yeah.
you're just like waiting on luck or something.
Yeah.
Good God, we got to pray. So we're calling our staff to a month of prayer and fasting.
Yeah.
Maybe we can talk the next episode about fasting.
Yeah, let's do that.
I did a sermon on it a while ago.
Yeah, we did a whole series.
We did a series on fasting?
Yeah, I preached one and you did 2, I think.
Okay. At the pig? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was good. I remember the one. I had the fish tank and I filled it up with a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
That was a good message.
It was good. Maybe you did one, I did one. I don't know. I know we did at least 2 or 3 of them because it's an important...
Was it in January? We did it in January?
I think so. I think we did it right at the top of the year or something. But it's such a... I think it's a often misunderstood...
Well, we think that fasting is twisting God's arm.
Yeah.
We think that it's like a strike. This is what prisoners do. They go on hunger strikes.
Right.
This is not a hunger strike.
Right.
This is not me manipulating God that I'm going to starve myself to death down here.
Right. And it's not like it's not like giving, like, a fleece before. It's not any of those things. It's not like I'm going to do this, so you better do that. It's
a way to help our focus.
Yeah. And another, what you said before, like humbling of ourselves to say, I'm going to deny something that I want for the hope of a spiritual connection, a spiritual answer from you. So,
dude, that's good. I hope everybody in the church listens to this one.
Yeah, that's good. Okay.
I do. I'm going to tell our staff, everybody got to listen to it.
Yeah. Okay.
Write a book report and turn it in.
Write a book report. Yeah.
We said a bunch of weird, crazy stuff at the beginning, but
hey, that's fine. It was still good.
What else? What else? Guys, if you have questions.
Yeah. Or if you have questions about prayer or spiritual questions, you can ask leadership or spiritual questions. And then we'll have our 2 days later answer session for all the questions.
We'll dive into it
Yeah.
and get into it.
No, I love it.
Guys, just take some time to pray.
Yeah,
really.
It's really
Turn
good.
the podcast off. You know you can pray in your car. You can pray in the shower. Some of my best times of prayer is in the shower.
Yeah.
You can pray with worship music on. You can pray with not worship music on.
Right.
You can pray while you're at the gym.
It's true.
You can pray while you're in a fight with your spouse and say, hey, baby, I need just 3 minutes. You go out in the garage and say, God, help me calm the junk down. You can pray all the time.
It's true.
Let's do it.
Let's pray, y'all.
Brush teeth, put on your deodorant.
Pray.
Pray, buy your wife $300 worth of underwear. All right. Love y'all.
Love y'all.
See ya.
Bye.